Welcome to Downey, a city in South LA County known for its convenient location near major freeways. It's part of the Gateway Cities, which act as a bridge between downtown LA and Orange County. Downey is home to the third oldest operating McDonald's, opened in 1953, and offers many family friendly parks. Let's explore the city's healthcare accessibility through the eyes of providers and residents.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so my name is Bianca. I'm 27 years old. I have been living in Downey, California for about 25 years. I currently work at the Kaiser in Downey as a ER technician.
And for how many years have you been living in the city of Downey?
So I've been living here for approximately about 25 years.
And what do you feel the medical system and the medical care is here in the city of Downey? Do you think it's been accessible for the residents here?
I think for the most part, care is pretty accessible in the city of Downey. However, I feel like we have a lot of neighboring cities that don't have a lot of access to care. And I think this is like one of the biggest issues we see here in the emergency department, where we have one of the busiest ERs. And I think that's because we have a lot of people coming, say, from like Glenwood or Compton, Paramount and Bellflower, because they don't have access to primary care, or the hospitals that are in their cities, they don't receive the quality of care that they like. So a lot of people tend to come to Kaiser Downey. So we do see a lot of underserved people. Although they're not part of the community in Downey, we do get them coming from all the neighboring cities.
Wow, thank you so much.
Hey guys, so we are here with my good friend Julie. She is a practicing PAC, and she is, how many years have you been in the field?
4 years.
4 years. Okay, so she has various backgrounds in healthcare, including primary care and added urgent care in Watts. She's also currently practicing in dermatology. What cities do you practice in?
In addition to Downey, I also practice in East LA, Sherman Oaks. It really just depends, but generally the LA area, I'm everywhere.
Wherever she's needed, basically.
Right.
Julie, so we have our first question. What are some common concerns that people have in this area in the city of Downey? And overall, what are the concerns that they're coming in for? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Okay. Well, in Downey, it's a primarily Hispanic population, but I do see pretty much everything I would see anywhere else. Of course, I have a lot of patients with eczema, with psoriasis. I do notice that my Hispanic patients are more likely to develop things like keloids, so they're just more prone to it. I do see, like I said, a lot of eczema. And surprisingly, a lot of people don't think that Hispanic people, they don't get skin cancer because genetically and also the melanin in their skin is protecting them. But you would be surprised. I do have quite a few patients coming in, and the most common thing I see is squamous cell carcinoma and actinic keratoses on my Hispanic patients. Like I said, it's not as common. A lot of patients are Fitzpatrick 3 or higher, but a fair amount of my fair patients and a fair amount of my more tan patients, I still see skin cancer. So it's really important that they get their skin checked by their primary once a year, once they're older. And if not by their primary and you're not sure, you can send them to a dermatologist, dermatology PA.
Hi, so nice to meet you. What activities would you say there is for residents of Downey, and which activities are you involved in for the community?
Well, currently I'm not really involved in too much of the stuff here that goes on in Downey,
Okay.
because I take care of I'm a caregiver for my mom,
Oh, okay.
but they do have a lot of stuff for the residents here.
Okay.
They have the farmers market, and then they have on Riley, if you go straight down on Riley, they have like for senior citizens, and they have exercise, movies, bingo, stuff like that.
A lot of good stuff. Awesome.
So what would you say is your favorite part about Downey?
This park.
This park?
How would you say is access to healthcare here? Do you feel like you can kind of make an appointment with your doctor, primary care, and do you feel like medication here is like a fair price and like you have access to all that stuff?
To call and to make an appointment is not very easy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you have something, it takes like weeks,
Yeah.
3-4 weeks just to get into your doctor's office.
Yeah.
And then if you have an emergency, like you got to get in right away,
Yeah.
they charge you more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not, the care that I get is okay, but to get in, it's different.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
That makes sense.
Couple questions. How is your access to healthcare? How would you say it is here in Downey?
So I have been working with Kaiser Downey for both of my pregnancies, and I feel like it was really accessible. The experience was really smooth.
Oh wow, okay.
And I mean, Kaiser is a little bit different in that there's so many. It kind of connects you to local networks, and then when you are at a site, everything's connected for you right there. I think it's been a pretty smooth experience, and yeah, and that was through 2 pregnancies. I can't complain about it.
So then, do you think like you can basically schedule a visit with the doctor whenever you like, and it's kind of like a?
Yeah, I think it depends on the urgency. Like sometimes it's maybe a little bit. If it's something less urgent, you might wait a little bit.
Right.
But like a few times there's been a concern with a more immediate need, and I'm able to get it within a couple days.
Okay, cool.
Like opportunities for you to get engaged in the community, or like there's a lot of resources.
Like family events and things. Yeah, I think maybe just now that I have kids, I'm more aware of it. But I think Downtown Downey has quite a bit. I'm not on their social media page much, but like I go to the library. I think there's advertisements there. They have like consistent things. So like there's like the weekly Thursday nights. I don't know what it's called, night market or something. So there's regular stuff, and then they'll do like periodic things like the International Food Festival or something. So I think there's both like things that go regularly, and then they'll put on events and they'll close the streets off in that central area.
Nice. So a lot of like community involvement, engagement.
Yeah, I mean my perspective is limited to families, but I was here when I was single too.
I just wanted to know what your favorite part of Downey is.
Honestly, for this park is one of my favorite parts, and I think the like the access to so many families being around. And I think Downtown Downey, they've built it up for not only young people, but for families. The safety is really important to me too. And there's incidents here and there, but comparatively speaking to other cities in LA, I feel like it's pretty safe. There's lots of different types of people here. There's families, there's single young people, there's older people. I mean, that sounds like all communities, but I think like Downey has a good mix of that. And so, yeah, I would say like the safety, families, and there's quite a few parks like this that are taken care of and they're clean, and yeah, really grateful to be here.
Thank you for taking
so much.
the time.
Yeah, sure.